So Russ, let's go ahead and, oh, we're already recording. Okay, hi everybody. I'm Graham Dodge from Magic, the Executive Director of Magic and organizer here at 1 Million Cups with my fellow organizers. Thank you for joining us for another round of presentations. We've got two great presentations today. Eric Wendler from RevertStrap and Elaine Caparola from Drumtee, both local companies. I'm going to kick it over to our fellow organizer, Julius Knapp, who will introduce 1 Million Cups and our core values. So, Julius, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Just give me 1 second.
While he's doing that, I will also say that make sure you get your, you attend 5 of these in a row, you get a handsome 1 Million Cups travel mug. So don't be sure, be sure to let me know when you've attended 5 of these in a row so we can get that out to you.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead, Julius.
Nope, no problem. All right, so welcome everybody to 1 Million Cups Westminster. Our mission at 1MC Westminster is to lower the barrier for access to education, resources, and connections for entrepreneurs. Without the pillars of our core program, this mission cannot succeed. So just going over some of our pillars, we're looking for presentations, not pitches. We're here to connect, not network, and we're really for the community and by the community. We really want to get to know your business, the challenges your business faces, so that we can connect you to all the resources that our community has to offer. Nobody has ownership of 1MC Westminster. Nobody here is paid to do 1MC Westminster, and we are radically and intentionally inclusive. It's really everyone here that makes 1MC Westminster possible. And we're always looking to find new entrepreneurs and business-minded people, members within our community. We meet every week, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Here we are, you found us. We have 2 presenters whenever possible. Presenters, organizations must be less than 5 years old and willing to ask for help. We always end each presentation Q&A with what can we as 1MC Westminster do to help you? And here's our organizing team. And that's it. Back to you, Graham.
Thank you very much, Julius. And again, I just want to point out that our presenters today will all get handsome ceramic 1 Million Cups mugs. So if you know somebody else who should be presenting at these meetings and they want a fancy ceramic mug, be sure to send them our way. And if you attend 5 of these in a row, you get one of these travel mugs as an attendee. And we still have, I think we have some 10 in a row attendees now that we owe t-shirts to. So we have 1 Million Cups t-shirts that we send to people who have attended 10 in a row. Our community sponsor is my organization, Magic, the Mid-Atlantic Gigabit Innovation Collaboratory. If you're not familiar with us, please go to magicinc.org. We do a lot of technology education in the region here, workforce development, and startup ecosystem building with things like this. And then we have our coffee sponsor. For when we actually meet in person, they'll actually have coffee on site, but for virtually, you can get 25% off your complete order from furnacehillscoffee.com. Julius put it in the channel there, but if you joined after that was posted, I'm posting it again for you. Use discount code 1MC Westminster. All right. So today we've got Eric Wendler from RevertStrap and Elaine Caparola from Drumtee. We're going to have Eric from RevertStrap go first. So everyone else, please mute. Eric, go ahead and share your screen and take it away.
Okay, I'll share my screen here in a second, and just thanks again for the opportunity to talk to everybody, and appreciate your time, and especially appreciate any input at the end of the presentation and any assistance you could provide. So just to be upfront, I think some of you may have hopefully recognized me and the product, and I actually changed the name. It used to be called RetroStrap. Now it's called RevertStrap. And I did that because I had to. There's actually a company out there called RevertStrap that has a strap that's used to pull luggage behind, like a carry-on item that has wheels. Somebody invented a strap that you put across your shoulder, hook it to your bag, and you can drag your bag behind you, your wheeled bag. and that's in use, and he has it copyrighted RevertStrap, so therefore RevertStrap was too close to the name. I wasn't able to trademark it and use it, and I had to go to plan B on the name. So RevertStrap is now the name, new logo, same tagline, the strap that comes back. So in case some of you are confused, you're like, hey, I think I saw that guy before with another company. That's me. New, same good product, same different name. So just wanted to clarify that. So yeah, so I have created RevertStrap, the strap that comes back. And some of you may have seen this before in the demo. And it's a strap, retractable shoulder strap that comes back. And I'm gonna slide back here and just show you, just do a quick demo since I'm virtual. And many of you know what this is. You may have a bag, a gym bag, a computer bag, luggage item, and it has the old shoulder strap on it. Well, I've been in sales for over 35 years. For the past 20 years, I've been carrying some type of bag, and they've all had this strap on it that has driven me crazy. I've been in airports, train stations, put the bag in my car, the strap either falls on the floor, falls outside my car door. When I go to throw it in the back, I have to pick it up. I put it on the floor, it gets dirty, I trip over it, somebody else trips over it. And after years of that, I said, okay, somebody has one of these, right? There's got to be a better idea. Well, there wasn't. So guess what I did? So I said, you know, I got to be able to get rid of this. And the other thing too, that really annoyed me, I was doing quite a bit of airplane travel, and I would go to put my bag up in the overhead bin, and it would hang out of the bin. I would have to tuck it in or put it on the conveyor for the x-ray machine, and they would either make me take it off or tuck it in or do something with it. And then finally in the airplane seat, I would put this bag underneath me in the seat in front of me, and the strap would hang out and or get on the dirty floor, and I'd have to do something with it. So check the internet, nothing there, no products in stores. I said, okay, I'm frustrated enough, I'm going to do something about this. So what I did is I created RevertStrap. And as you can see, it's a small, weighs about 4 ounces, small item, and it's a very simple concept. There's retractors built into the shoulder pad that feed the straps back in when you're not using them. So I'll show you here. I'll take off the old strap. And the only reason I keep this strap around is for demonstration, or I would have thrown it out by now. So you simply hook on RevertStrap to your bag, and you let it go. So again, when you're using the bag, you put the bag on your shoulder, it looks like a regular shoulder strap, acts like a regular shoulder strap, holds the bag. It can probably hold up to 100 or so pounds because of the nylon. It's one continuous loop of nylon. And then when you put the bag down on the ground or on the floor, you can see it doesn't hang down, stays against the bag. You put the bag on the conveyor, it doesn't get snagged in the x-ray conveyor at the airport, stays out of people's way, and gets out of your way when you don't need it. So you're probably thinking, well, I don't have a computer bag. What else is this good for? I actually have a large gym bag here, athletic bag. You can see it does the same thing. So it works on almost any size bag that has a shoulder strap, and you need it to get out of your way. So I'm going to share my screen now and just give you an idea of the market size, because you know, we're all business people here like me. Let's see here. I think I shared them wrong. Yeah, let me go. So I was thinking, okay, I have this problem. I was in airports, train stations, saw other people having the same problem. I thought, okay, what's the market for this? Well, the Travel Goods Association of America estimates that there's about $10 billion worth of bags sold every year. And that does not include backpacks or other luggage items. That's travel bags, sports bags, computer bags, and business cases. Okay. So that's one reason. The other reason why, in addition to being frustrated, that's the other reason why I created the product, because I saw a sizable market opportunity for the product. So as you can see, I have working prototypes. I've been using the strap for years. Been using my prototypes. My sons have used the prototype straps on their bags. My youngest son's a big photographer. He has one on his photography bag. His girlfriend has one on her travel bag. She lives in Florida, was traveling back and forth and enjoys it. So that's the stage where I'm in right now. So the potential revenue streams for me. So I actually did have a licensing deal with a luggage company out of New York for 2 years. They manufacture luggage products, and I connected with the president of the company at a national travel show out in Vegas one year, and they wanted to put RevertStrap on their bags as an accessory item to bring value to their bags. So I at one point I had a 2-year licensing deal, but as you can imagine, when last year hit, when COVID hit, what happened to the travel industry? Nothing happened in the travel industry. So their business plummeted with the sale of luggage products. So the licensing deal has not been renewed. But that being said, licensing for me is a great way to go, because I get potentially, almost 100% return on that, because I do not have to, market it, sell it if I license my my IP. And that's one thing I forgot to mention. I do have a patent, utility patent on the strap itself. Okay, so that's been in place for a couple of years, and I do actually own the IP for that. So that's where the licensing revenue would come from. I would like to sell the strap directly, if I could, via a website very similar to the cymbals, the drum products that you guys sell directly from your website. And then also consumer sales and retail is an option as well. And my biggest hurdle right now, and where I'd like to get your input on this, is the cost of manufacturing. Right now, it costs me about $40 per strap to get these made, because it's a fairly time-consuming process. They have to sew the shoulder pad, put the retractors in the shoulder pad, feed the lines through the straps, and assemble it all together. And the luggage company that I was working with on the licensing deal has Chinese manufacturing, but their Chinese manufacturer has not been able to duplicate to the quality that we need to have the product be reliable. And now with the travel restrictions, they've not been able to go and work with their Chinese manufacturing. So my ask today is, I would, again, that's the summary of my presentation. I'd love to get your feedback. I still think it's a great idea. I do want to get it out into the marketplace. If I can find, if you have access to manufacturing resources, maybe Chinese or other less expensive manufacturing resources, or if you have ideas there, that would be really helpful, because my goal again is to initially sell it directly through my website, get it out in the marketplace, and get it beyond proof of concept, and then perhaps get other deals with other luggage companies. So that's it for me. And open to any feedback. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, if you want me to clarify anything, would love your feedback.
All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Great job.
Yeah.
You can unshare your screen. So
Okay.
everyone's faces again. So, great presentation and
Thank you.
demonstration. We have some questions here. Let me go through. Scott Singleton from the Business Employment Resource Center in Carroll County asks, where is your product manufactured? So I guess you just answered that for us.
Yeah, so it's a good question. There was actually a company in Frederick, Maryland, who did my initial prototypes. They do contract selling. And then, like I said, I started working with this licensing with the luggage company, and they were trying to manufacture the items. And most recently, my newest prototypes were manufactured by a company in Baltimore that does contract selling. So again, domestic, great. And these are the best prototypes I've had. They've made 5 or 6 of these prototypes, and they're perfect. They function. I've tested them. I'm using them, and they're great. But I want to sell this as an accessory item, and a price tag of more than, in my mind, even $20 for an accessory item is probably too high to make this a viable product.
And is there an issue in terms of quantity, in terms of how many you would order to have manufactured to reduce that cost?
Yeah, I asked, so that's a good question too. So the company I'm working with, I asked about that. I said, what if I order 100 of these? And, their response to me was it would probably bring the cost down a little bit, but it's the manual work that needs to be done to get the strap assembled. Making the strap, buying the nylon strap that for the strap itself is not hard. Sewing even the shoulder pad is not hard. The hardest part is there's retractors that have lines that need to be fed through the strap to make it retract. And that's where that's manual intensive. That takes minutes for each strap. And, that's what I'm saying. I need to work with somebody who has maybe lower cost resources. I'd love to manufacture them here in Carroll County, in somewhere in Maryland, say US manufactured. For me at this point, it's economically not viable to make it sellable.
I see Rick Leinbach from Startup Portal had the same question that I just had about the volume commitment at that $45 unit.
Yeah.
So is there a specific number that cost is associated with?
Yeah, I mean, I've had them make 7 or 8 of them at a time, and and
so hopefully when you get to like 100 at a time, then you can reduce that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The next question after Scott's was actually mine. Could there be a military application of this? Have you thought about approaching the Army or the Marines or Armed Forces about this? Yeah.
Your great minds think alike. That went in addition to my first, when I first started coming up with the concept and got my prototypes and proof of concept, I started thinking about what people or what group of people would really value not having a strap in their way. Like not, obviously business people in airports and train stations, it's a nice to have, it's not a have to have, and then I actually thought about the military. It's like, okay, if you're special forces, you have a gear bag, you drop it on a mission, you drop it somewhere, and you're in a hurry for a lot of different reasons, and you're focused on a lot of different things happening around you. And the strap's on the ground, the strap's in your way. Could that be a problem? And I am not a military person. Obviously love the military, honor everything they do. And if anybody has connections there, I agree with you. I don't know if the Army would see value in this, but I would think special ops, special forces. And I've actually, there are retractors I can get that are, I don't know if they're military grade, but they are waterproof and have steel cables, and I know those are available. Yeah. They could easily be.
Maybe that's your beachhead, really. That's your target, because then you can go after police forces, fire departments, any other public safety, anything where having a dangling thing. It's like in The Incredibles, they joke about the movie The Incredibles. They joke about how the superheroes with capes get caught in plane engines and stuff. It's like a superhero, a first responder with a strap that dangles off. I mean, God forbid that ever gets in their way or makes them trip or has something get hung up. So, but yeah, I think we should definitely explore that with you then. And maybe if anybody here has connections with public safety, first responders, fire, police, military, please let us know. All right. Elaine Caparola from Drumtee, our next presenter, asks or says, great idea. Are they adjustable to different lengths?
So again, great question. Have had that question numerous times, and the answer is no. And the reason is just because I'm trying to keep the product simple and functional. And in my initial investigations for patents and other intellectual property for this idea, proof of concept, there are other adjustable strap types of things for golf bags and for other equipment bags, but they have gears, they have mechanical clutches and things like that, again, I was trying to keep it simple. I wanted it to work and keep it fairly simple. And right now that's, the way it's made is fairly straightforward, and it functions. So I do have a couple different thoughts on how to make it adjustable at some point, but for right now I'm in the Henry Ford mode of manufacturing. You can have any color you want as long as it's black, and you can have any length that you want as long as it's 50 inches. So.
Excellent. All right. Tamar Osterman from Maryland Economic Development says, hi, Eric, and asks, which CMO are you using? Tamar, are you referring to Chief Marketing Officer? What are you saying?
The contract manufacturer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I apologize. I'm blanking on the name of the company. They're actually in downtown Baltimore, and they're actually in an opportunity zone. It's a husband and wife that run the company. I'm blanking. I apologize. I'm blanking on
No big deal. I was just curious. I think in our last conversation, I'd given you some names, and I was just wondering if any of them had a hit and were helpful.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for that. Thanks for that reminder. I actually, you gave me a list of manufacturers. There was one out of upstate New York that I reached out to as well that was on that list that you provided me, and the product was just too left of center of what they do, so they weren't able to help me. But yeah, I was able to take that list and do some checking.
Super.
All right. Well, Tina Thomas from Infinite Love Project asks, have you talked to investors to have the automation built for your production? Oh, to actually build your own manufacturing facilities?
I haven't. But again, I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself to have talk about manufacturing something unless I was sure it was viable. So I'm definitely past the point of proving it's viable. I'm still confident it's a good product. It can be used out there. And I don't know enough about manufacturing to know if there's a machine or if there's some methodology that would speed this thing up to make it more economically viable. I think I'd want to, at this point, I want to talk to somebody, have them work through the manufacturing of it and get their feedback on if there's 2 or 3 steps that can be eliminated or refined that would make it more economically viable before I go to, spend thousands of dollars to.
Right, because you're getting the nylons being pre-manufactured. You're buying that wholesale, then you're just assembling the pieces and feeding that nylon tension cable through.
Yeah, even the retractors. The retractors are off the shelf. Like each of you can go. It's basically the initial my prototype. I built a prototype in my garage and at my kitchen table using the keychain retractors that you can buy in Walmart, and I clipped those to an old shoulder tennis racket bag that I had in the garage, clipped those to that strap, and then fed the lines through myself and did that as proof of concept. So everything's pretty much off the shelf. Again, it's just more the time to get it done, unfortunately.
Well, and to Tina's question, I think that once you get like a large contract with someone like the military to produce these, maybe with the aircraft cable, like the most highest and most secure, nothing ever is going to go wrong. It's waterproof, it's fireproof, whatever,
Yeah.
bulletproof. Then, you could talk to investors and say, hey, Westminster has an opportunity zone, for example. We're going to build with this fundraising, we're going to build our own manufacturing facility and create jobs here in Carroll County. That's the kind of conversation I'm sure a lot of people would love to have.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Tamar says, hey, Eric, let's talk offline. She wants to connect you with a team at Commerce that has the knowledge of the military opportunities, and then also referring you to the Maryland Manufacturing Extension Partnership. And she provides some links there.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, we'll
So
do.
outside of, getting these other connections in place, is there anything else that our community can do for you?
No, I don't think so. Everybody's been great. For the Carroll Biz Challenge, when I did that last year, was great. Great connections, great support. This group it's obviously it's as a struggling entrepreneur who knows they have a good idea. It's the eternal story. You have a good idea. You want other people to know about it and get it out there. And can be a long, frustrating process to know that there's people that are interested that can help you is very encouraging. So just the fact that this half-hour conversation this morning is very helpful. And I would just ask that if, obviously there may be some wheels turning in your head if we hang up today and you talk to somebody this weekend and they could be helpful. Feel free to reach out to me. The phone number on my website is actually my mobile phone. So text me. Sometimes emails can get shuffled around. But yeah, I'd appreciate it. Tomorrow I'll follow up with you, circle back with you in the next day or two, and would love to reconnect and talk about some ideas that you might have.
And you're Eric at RevertStrap.com, is that right?
That's me.
All right, so I'll put that email there for Tina.
Yeah, and again, the phone number on my website, 410-299-5803 is my mobile, but that's on the website as well.
Okay. All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Eric.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your time.
And if you're able to hang on and listen in, you're welcome to. We've got our next presenter up here. This is Elaine Caparola from Drumtee, another business here locally, manufacturing their own products, which we love to see. So Elaine, you can go ahead and start sharing your screen. The rest of us will go on mute and wait till after you're done with your 6 minutes or so presentation, and then we'll open up for Q&A afterwards. So welcome, Elaine.
Thank you. And everybody's faces are where I need to click. So give me a minute. I didn't practice this.
Yeah, you can move the faces. I think you can drag them into a different location.
Okay.
Grab it at a certain spot.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
And then you should just be able to hit present or share on that PowerPoint, and it'll go full screen for us. I think right down at the bottom you have. Yep,
I dragged the faces to the bottom, so that wasn't good. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Graham, first for inviting me in to 1 Million Cups for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. My name is Elaine Caparola. My product and company is Drumtee. Drumtees are percussion mutes for drums and cymbals. So how I got started in 2009, Chance, my youngest son, was 7 years old, and he got his first drum set for Christmas. The following year, he started taking lessons, and my first thought was that I wanted to protect his hearing. Drums are loud by design. There was a study in 2006 by the Percussive Arts Society that found that 57% of professional drummers and 44% of amateur players have tinnitus, ringing in the ears. And this is a rate 3 to 4 times higher than in non-musicians. And I personally know drummers with hearing loss attributed to the art. Secondly, the drums were in our living area, so our sanity was another concern. So I started searching for products to quiet his drums. And pretty much if you do a search, for drum mutes, you're gonna, first hits, most popular thing out there are these neoprene type mutes that are made from synthetic rubber. They sit on top of the drums. Excuse me, ordered some, and my first thought was no way. They killed the drumstick rebound. They deadened the sound of the drum, and it was just like, these are no fun. I can't believe this is what people are using. So continued my search, found some interesting things that people do to try to quiet their drums. These are the neoprene mutes here on these drums, and as they wear out, they can crumble, they can leave black marks on the heads and the cymbals. There have been many complaints of that. You never want to put tape on your drums or cymbals. Very hard to get that off. These can bounce and slide off during play. Here's someone else that put tea towels all over their drums, again with the tape. One of Chance's first instructors told us that his mom used to tape tea towels all over his drums when he was little. So he loved them. He used them actually when Chance was taking lessons. Ringo Starr here used to always have, or well, not always, I don't know, I didn't watch every concert, but he used to put a tea towel over his snare drum often, and that was for the unique sound that it offered. So wasn't able to find anything that I could buy that I felt would be useful for us on the market. So I took an old t-shirt, cut a circle out of it, sewed elastic around it, put it on his drums, like, wow, this is so much better than what's out there. Now, it wasn't perfect, and drum tees today are not made out of t-shirts. They are, I extensively searched for fabric for durability and muting properties, and it is not t-shirt material, but that's how the first prototype was made, and that's how the name was born, Drumtee, and that's how my idea got started. So exactly 10 years ago today, I filed my provisional patent, spent the next year working on my final patent, very hard doing it yourself, but proud to say that in 2014 it was worth the effort and my patent did issue. So here's my current website. So before I go through that, my revenue model right now is primarily direct to consumer through my website. However, in 2014, I did go to Dale's Drum Shop because they are one of the world's largest independent drum shops, and showed them my product. They really liked it. They ordered some and have been ordering pretty much monthly ever since then. And here's some things that Dale's has to say about the product. Drum tees are our best-selling drum and cymbal mutes. For in-store displays, drum tees are well packaged with informative header cards. What am I? What can I do for you? They are profitable. Packaging graphics is tidy and clean. For demoing drum tees in our shop, they are very easy to install, remove, and show customers the convenience and playability of the product. Though they are a little more expensive than some of the other drum and cymbal muting options, drum tees are a superior product in feel, meaning the feel of when you're using them, ease of use, construction, storage, durability, and overall value. They sell themselves. Drum tees have reduced our sales of other drum and cymbal mutes to near zero. We wish there was a bass drum version, but that has never caused any customer to not buy a full 5-piece set's worth. So pretty straightforward site. If I can find my cursor. So, you know, just pretty straightforward, shows all the products. They're available for any size, drum or cymbal. Testimonials, Mike Dawson is the managing editor for Modern Drummer, and a couple years back, it was the product pick of the week. So I started getting all these orders in. It's like, what's going on? So I found out he had done a podcast and it was a product pick of the week. So that was exciting. Drummer for BJ Thomas, he used duct tapes and towels before to get that Ringo tone because he also plays in a Beatles tribute band. He said they look better, sound better. So a lot of good testimonials, a lot of good feedback. We've only had the feedback enabled since like 2019. was contacted by a recording studio asking for a video to see what they did. And I told him I didn't have one. I'm trying to get one together. And he said, well, if you send me your product and it does what you say it does, I'll make you the video. So he liked it. Here's the result. So very grateful to Brandon Christie Productions for that video. Right. It's a little demo showing just how easy they are to put on, take off. Thank you, Chance, for that. This is what my packaging looks like, front and back. Got my UPC codes. How are Drumtee mutes better than the competition? They retain full drumstick rebound. They quiet the drums without killing the underlying tone of the drum, which is why they can also be used for practice, performance, and recording. Cymbal mutes really kill the sound, so you wouldn't want to use the cymbal mutes during performance, but for the drums, gives them a sound that a lot of drummers are looking for and can be used in performance as well. They won't bounce off or slide off. Installation and removal is quick and easy. They can be used as protective covers when transporting or storing your kit. They look nice. One reviewer referred to them as a tuxedo for his drums. I thought that was pretty cool. They're odorless. They're extremely durable. They don't leave black marks on your drums or cymbals. They can be made for any size drum or cymbal, which includes the smaller junior kits, which is, I was having trouble finding them even small enough. They are portable, durable, washable, and reversible, and quieter drumming can still be enjoyable. So, $1 million question, what do I need? I need mentors. I think I've taken it by the grace of God as far as I can take it, and I just need help formulating the best plan forward and scaling. You know, how do I do need help with marketing, but then marketing, if it's done right, creates sales, and then sales create orders, and I'm one person. So how do I scale? The process right now, it is what it is. I love the product. I feel like it's where it needs to be. And I feel like I've optimized the way I do it as much as I can. So a way that that could be done a little faster is if I had a machine for laser cutting of the fabric, and if there was a way to automate the elastic installation. So thank you so much, 1 million cups, and I will try to get out of here so we can talk.
Excellent job, Elaine. Wow. Very thorough. Very well done. Thank you very, very much. I'm really impressed with how far you've actually gotten with this. Not being in the drumming world, some of the places that you mentioned was a Dale's Drum Shop. Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, places like that I hadn't heard of myself, but it sounds like you've gotten all the validation that you need to take this and scale it up as far as you can go within that music realm and drum world. So congratulations on the patent too. My goodness. and so we have, we've had 2 patented inventions here today. That's awesome. So, okay, let me just get right to the questions here without sort of further delay. Let's see. Tina Thomas from Infinite Love Project asks, what is the distribution of related items like? Is there a main distributor for the US? So is there like a gatekeeper that you have to kind of work through to get these into all the music stores?
I am in one music store. I'm in Dale's Drum Shop, and Dale's has been great to work with, and they were the first ones I approached. And I didn't have you can see the Drumtee label in the center of the mute itself. It used to be on the side, so they helped me with getting the branding a little better. And, I didn't have the header cards where they could be put in stores, so they really helped me know what I needed for the packaging. But finding that in approaching other retailers, they just want too big of a cut, and it's just not, I'm me, and I just can't do that. So I have not branched out in that area. I have decided to stay through my website, but I will always be in Dale's. I love Dale's. And I'm happy to branch out. I just know that I can't make these for nothing. So I can't practically do that and put them in a store and they still get their 50-55% cut that they want.
So when Rick Leinbach from Startup Portal, he asked, where are you selling now? So you're basically telling us it's your website and Dale's Drums.
Correct. Right? And okay. It's my website that I created through a template through GoDaddy. It's the second website. My 14-year-old son, I had Head Start HTML book in front of me after my patent was done. Okay, now I need my website. And thank God I went into the kitchen one day to get a snack. And when I came back, Vinny had my book and he's doing this program. Thank God, because he was like born knowing how to program. So, I had my first website for a couple years. Vinny had created, and he was just a teenager, and it was working and had sales, but was it optimized? Is the one I have now optimized? I mean, sometimes I get notices, your website is not optimized. Well, I get calls every day telling me my warranty on my car is expired too, I don't know. There's things that I know what I'm capable of, and I know where my weaknesses are. And I'm not the greatest at marketing. Social media personally is not something that I do. So it's very hard for me to go right into it and just suddenly be selling something. And as far as the website too, I mean, I can't depend on my children to take care of my business for me. It's not their responsibility, but I can't really afford to hire people either to do that. So just needing help with those areas and how to scale.
Excellent. Yeah. And in terms of the mentorship, I mean, please consider Magic, my organization, here for you to start doing that. And what I'm thinking right off the bat, low-hanging fruit, is get out a press release. Just to let other people in Maryland know that you're here and what you're doing. Hit up all those podcasters and drum magazines, not just, we can, use the ones that you've gotten so far to kind of get others interested. And that would be the low-hanging fruit. So we'll talk after this and we'll start working on a press release for you. All right. So Eric Wendler from RevertStrap asks, have you considered licensing your patent to a drum or cymbal manufacturer such as Zildjian?
I've thought about it, but I have not approached them, no.
Yeah. Are we allowed to hop in?
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
So yeah, like I said, for me, that was, not a quick source of revenue, but it was a good source of revenue because they bought my IP, the rights to use my retractable strap concept and the construction of it, and they were going to put it on their product. So again, Zildjian, I'm trying to think of other drum manufacturers, Ludwig, they may want to pay you a fee and put one of these with every cymbal that they ship. Who knows, maybe Zildjian's getting returns from 10% of returns on their shipments because the cymbals are being damaged. And if they put one of your covers on their cymbals when they ship them, it'd be a value add. Or if somebody orders their cymbals, hey, would you like to order this cover along with it? Click here. Something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. It's just like feeling my limits and what I feel like I'm comfortable doing without help.
I got you. Okay.
Well, you got all the help here, so we'll help you. Everyone here will help you. That's what we're here for.
And tomorrow, several years ago, I found notes from when you had contacted me several years ago and helped me out. And she got me in touch with some sewing manufacturers. And I had notes on my paper of all the different people that I've been through trying to seek help. And beside your name, I had the one. Like, she was very helpful, and she did put me in touch with some manufacturers, but that's been a disaster in itself, just finding people that the product is what I want it to be when I get the samples back. How do I tell them how many I need when it hasn't grown to that point yet? So I would like to do this myself. I think finding someone else to manufacture it has been a real struggle to have it done well.
So Elaine, one of the things I want to say is you also caught me very, very early in my career at Commerce. And I joke sometimes I should like go back and apologize to all the people I met with in the first couple of months on the job and say, I'm really sorry, let's talk again. I actually know something now. So one of the things I put in the chat was, I think you too would benefit, like Eric, from a conversation with the Maryland Manufacturing Extension Partnership. I mean, they can talk to you about the strategic issues, and, you know, getting mentorship and support from Graham would be outstanding. He's really an incredible resource. And, you know, they can talk to you about, well, what does it really mean to like try to do this yourself, and how would that happen? And, you know, just to try to sequence it for you. And the conversations will be free. So I suggest you start there.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so John Wheatman from the Entrepreneur Store, an attorney at law, and our fellow organizer here at 1 Million Cups says, great job. You're right on thinking about how to scale at this point. And yes, I think we all agreed. Right now, it's like you've proven everything you need to prove about yourself, your ability to get this off the ground, to do this. Now let's think about how we're going to scale this up for you. And these are some great ideas from everybody.
John was another one I had met with, and he was very helpful too, because I was a sole proprietor and then I incorporated. So now it's an LLC. And, you know, so he made some suggestions to me that I took. Now I met with him, and then 2 weeks later, he was no longer in that position. He knew at the time I met him that he was only, you know, he was leaving that position in 2 weeks, but he was very helpful too.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. All right. Well, Tamara, you've chimed in already. I don't think we need to go through these, but she's, again, you know, emphasizing how much you've progressed since 2016. So Tina Thomas is from Infinite Love Project, is actually asking, what is your manufacturing capacity? How many units do you produce and sell now?
Well, I'd say Dale's is probably a quarter of my sales, and they buy about 250 a year. So I'm not maxed out in my capacity, but you have to think, well, I am the only one. So can I go on vacation? Can I have any kind of life crises at all? So yes, I could probably make, it takes me 15 minutes to make one. If I'm doing one, start to finish, cutting to packaging, 15 minutes. So say you can make 4 an hour, say in 8 hours, 32 I could make in 8 hours. But then, you know, I've got to order product. There's all that other stuff with doing everything else and being the only person that comes into play that, you know, I do enjoy making now, because it's, you know, it is at a scale I can handle. When it gets to that point, I'll probably be pulling my hair out, you know, and that's what I don't want to get into, that situation.
Yeah. Let's see, Tamara also, well, I was going to ask you, you've got the patent. Is the material you're using, is that part of the patent, or is that trade secret?
It's not trade secret. It's not part of the patent, but my patent is very broad and very detailed. So I listed every conceivable type of fabric that you can think of and that's out there, and that is listed in my patent.
Are you at liberty to say what that fabric is?
It's very durable. It's a stretch fabric. But it took me so long to find this and test so many fabrics that I just don't want to make it easy for other people.
Well, and that's what trade secret really is. So that's okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's not specifically. Yeah, I guess it's my trade secret.
That's fun. Now, do you do the cutting? So you buy the material raw, you cut it, and then you imprint it yourself with the
Yes.
logo?
Yep. I heat
Oh,
press
okay.
it. I cut it start to finish. And yes, and all US, everything, all the materials are sourced US, made in US.
Wow.
I'm not opposed to getting the price lower if that means other options, but I do like the fact that I'm able to do all this in the States.
All right, let's see. Tamar already mentioned the manufacturing extension partnership. John Wheatman says it's important to know where you need help. Marketing to musicians is ideal for aggressive social media marketing, right? So there's where another place where we can really help is try to help you get up, stepping right with a social media strategy that has you doing messaging on a regular basis, using the right hashtags, hitting, at the right account, targeting the right accounts. So we can definitely help you strategize that.
But with that piece, being able to handle the fallout from that, which is good, but just knowing that can be accommodated.
Yeah, Lane, I was going to comment on that. Be careful what you ask for because you might get it. All of a sudden
Right.
you start doing social media and you get 1,000 orders submitted. You don't want to be the Peloton of drum covers. Peloton is, if you go check reviews on them, people were waiting on their bikes for 3 months. They wanted to ride their bike 3 months ago, and Peloton, they have a huge black eye with it. So I was going to tell you, if we can get Elaine's contact info, and tomorrow, I remember the name of the company. It's SoLab is the company I use in Baltimore. They do custom sewing. They could probably be a good source for you for contract manufacturing. So I'll connect you with it's a husband-wife team. Again, they're really easy.
That is a name I'm familiar with. Do they just mostly work in canvas?
No, they do other materials. Like I said, they made mine. They do other types of sewing. They do bags. They do, and they come from this world. They came from New York, from the garment district, so they understand all the difference. So I'll connect you there. But
okay, thank you.
And actually, come to think of it, there's our face shield company, Shield Pals, that presented here a while back. It's a husband-wife team. They had scaling up their own sewing because they were talking about Sew Lab too. That name sounds familiar, and they ended up doing it all in house. And they hired their own sewers and cutters to do gowns for PPE for the hospitals. So I know, had scaled up very quickly to make like 1 million gowns, and then scaled right back down after they fulfilled the order. So there might be some other options for you as well, should you get an onslaught. But we don't want you to be afraid of that success, right? We want you to embrace that. And
I'm ready to embrace it, but
Well, also there's Maryland Print House, may be able to help with the imprinting at scale as well. And they're right here in your backyard here in Carroll County. And we're connected to them. So we'll see if they can actually help with any part of this as well.
Also, the state gave SoLab a grant early on to produce N95 masks. So we know then that they can definitely work with fabrics other than canvas.
Yeah, and that was actually taking quite a bit of their time and energy, but I think they may be over the hump there. So yeah, I definitely think they'll be talking with you.
Excellent. All right. Okay, I see Eric here from RevertStrap. He had posted the music and arts link. Now,
yeah. So Music and Arts is a national chain of stores. They're based in Frederick. Their headquarters is in Frederick, and 200 stores. People or parents take their kids there to buy instruments, to set up lessons, and do things. So again, might be, Rick's Drum Shop or the guy you're working with, Music and Arts is probably Rick's on steroids a little bit, but they're based in Frederick. I would think they would be open to talking to a local company.
Yeah, there's a lot of shops out there for sure. I think that would be open to the product, but just the challenge is the 50-55% cut that they want, just to get it on the shelf. So that's not something I can do.
Yeah. I mean, and there's also a scaling issue with Music and Arts. I mean, we talked about that the last time I met with you. I did not have a way in last time. Now I know the company. the corporate people, but you know, again, I think you'd really want to know how you could respond to them because they have really grown dramatically. And so if they were to say, yeah, let's do this, you got to know that you can do it, you know?
Right.
All right.
And
Well,
then-
I have to wrap it up, unfortunately. Lots of resources here, and we'll give both you and Eric transcripts of the chat here, so you have those. And of course, we'll see the videos on YouTube soon. Also, real quick, Scott Singleton from the Business Employment Resource Center recommends the Carroll Community College's course on social media. So you might want to look at that too if you need any help brushing up on your social media acumen. All right, so Val, if you can hear me and you are willing to send us out, I will kick it over to you. But thank you to Elaine and Eric, both of you, for presenting today. What a
Thank you.
stimulating, awesome conversation. Love hearing more about manufacturing here in Carroll County. So I think you got a lot of supporters in this group here now today, and hopefully you come away from this with a lot of new connections and the help that you need.
Thank you.
Val, are you there?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
And I want to echo that sentiment. It was really cool listening to two people who came up with ideas and are, doing it right here in Carroll County. That it just feels super cool. So thank you to both of you for your presentations this morning. Thank you again, of course, to our community sponsors. We've got Magic as a community sponsor, of which Graham is a representative, and also Furnace Hills Coffee. So make sure you check them out, them and their magic beans too. Very exciting. Graham just put the promo code in the chat for Furnace Hills if you want to check that out. As for next week, we have Fiddler's Green, which is a CBD company based in Tawnytown, and we have Citizens Life, which is here in Carroll County as well. And I think we classified it as some political education. So two really cool, again, very local. We are looking for presenters. After that, we've got some calendars to fill up. So if you've got any ideas, please do share with us, and we'll be happy to reach out and try and get people educated in how to apply and all that jazz. So thanks everybody for another lovely 1MC, and we'll see you this time next week. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.